Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Vox Politica, your Kenyan YouTube political channel where we unpack Kenya's most biggest political headlines. My name is Jacob Nyende. Today we are diving into a political trend of nepotic and patronage politics that has been in this country for a long period of time. And the person at the center of this nepotic and patronage politics is none other than Raila Odinga, Baba himself. Ladies and gentlemen, every election year, every campaign period, we are promised many things. We are told that our struggles are going to end, that there's going to be job opportunities. We are always promised that we are going to have good health care. We are going to have all those sort of good things that you can be promised. But the picture that we see after a leader ascends to power is not promising. What they do is that the first thing a leader ascends to power in this country, then he begins to elect his family members and reward his loyal political friends with big government positions and jobs. Ladies and gentlemen, this trend has become a norm and a heartbeat of our politics in this country. And if nothing is done about it, then we are headed to creating a country of inequality and increasing the level of poverty in this country. Now, join me and let us take a moment and reflect on the real impact of this trend of leaders who think that when they get up into power, now it is their time to eat, together with their family members and those loyalists that are their friends. But just before we go deeper into this, ladies and gentlemen, I would like to invite you to subscribe to this channel. Take a moment and hit the subscription button, smash the notification bell, and then press the like button. By doing that, you will have helped me to reach a wider audience. Thank you so much. And also let me take this time to congratulate and thank those who have already subscribed to this channel. Thank you so much, and asanteni sana, because without you, this channel could not be where it is right now. Gratitude to you, my highly esteemed people. Coming back to our topic, ladies and gentlemen, Raila Odinga has for a long period of time branded himself as the people's champion. He has also branded himself as the voice for the oppressed in this country. But at a time, as we have seen from time again and again, Raila Odinga has used those crises, national crises in this country, to turn them into his personal political capitals and reward his loyalists and family members. Ladies and gentlemen, over the past years, there has been demonstrations in this country since the days of Uhuru Kenyatta, when they had a handshake with Raila Odinga and we saw him swinging from opposition to the government to enjoy these benefits. Recently, this 2025, after the Gen Z protest, ladies and gentlemen, we all saw how Raila Odinga swung to William Ruto, and at KICC they ended an MOU, what they are calling broad-based arrangement, a 10-point agenda. Ladies and gentlemen, the big question that we are asking ourselves is that for Raila Odinga, is this the real statesmanship, or is a strategic conmanship plan and self-activism? Ladies and gentlemen, let's look at those appointments that has been done ever since Raila Odinga joined William Ruto. First of all, we saw his loyalists being awarded ministerial positions, cabinet secretaries, and many other positions that I don't want to mention. Of course, the latest appointment being the appointment of Professor Makau Mutua, one of the Raila's most early and confident into government position. All right. Now, earlier on, we saw people like Oparanya, Deputy Leader ODM, Deputy Party Leader ODM. We saw also Mbadi being elected into Cabinet Secretary, Opio Andai, people like Hassan Joho. Those are the confidants of Raila Odinga being given jobs. But to bring it also, to add on it also, are the family members of Raila Odinga. And one of these family members is Oburu Odinga. Oburu Odinga is the brother to Raila Odinga and the current senator for Siaya. Oburu Odinga also, after William Ruto and Raila Odinga shook hands, Oburu Odinga was elected into the Senate Energy Committee. He replaced Wamatinga, the Senate for Nyeri, after Wamatinga was ousted out of that committee because the government was cracking down on those political allies of Gachagua and chasing them out of government. So Oburu Odinga was given a seat in parliament. Ladies and gentlemen, we are living in a country whereby people are being elected into positions, powerful positions, not by the means of merit, but because they have connections with those in office, or they are connected either through friendship and loyalism, or they are blood. They are connected through blood. They are family members. It doesn't matter whether they are qualified or they are not qualified. Ladies and gentlemen, that is a dangerous trend that is happening in our country. We have seen also President William Ruto appointing Oburu's son, the Raila nephew, Jaoko Oburu, into special presidential advisor on economic matters. We have seen Raila Odinga's daughter being nominated as MP during this government time. And also back in Homa Bay, Gladys Wanga nominated Raila's sister. It's called Anwa or Nanwa, Wenwa, into his government. Ladies and gentlemen, the question we are asking is, what happens to the rest of Kenyans who do not have connections in this country? What happens to me and you? Now quickly, let us look at the impact that this has to our country. Nepotic politics and the politics of patronage has real negative impacts to the dreams of young people in this country and the country at large. Number one, when there is such a trend where leaders reward themselves, their family and their lolos, then there is what we call unfair job opportunities in the country. Many young people who are qualified with degrees of first-class honors are remaining jobless, while those who do not qualify are being offered jobs. Many people who have graduated as we speak right now, ladies and gentlemen, they remain hopeless because they believe that success in this country does not depend on the qualifications that you have. It doesn't depend on the qualifications that you got from the universities. Rather, it depends on who you know and the connections that you have with those in power. Another negative impact, ladies and gentlemen, is poor service delivery. In the beginning of the government of Dr. William Ruto, we saw how he used to reshuffle his cabinet secretaries because of incompetency. And at a time, we remember when they were having cabinet meetings, review meetings, when they were setting their goals and objectives and expectations and what each ministry is supposed to do. The President himself said that some of those ministers were incompetent. Now the questions come, what happened during the time of appointments? Was the right procedure followed before you appointed this person? Did you look at his or her qualifications and skills and abilities to perform that duty? Ladies and gentlemen, many state service remains poor. The health sector remains poorly serviced because of the people who have been appointed in that ticket are not qualified. Ladies and gentlemen, another impact is that there is increased corruption in the country, because sometimes when loyalists are appointed to positions and then they behave like they are untouchable, and therefore they can misuse public funds because they know that their political allies, those who appointed them, their political friends, will protect them instead of bringing them to accountability and to book so that they can answer the mistake that they have done. Ladies and gentlemen, the other impact that this type of politics has is that it brings anger and division among the citizens. Those who feel like they have been left out of power, those communities who feel that they have been left out of power, ladies and gentlemen, begin to express their anger and division and frustrations. This normally leads to tribalism and division in the country instead of bringing unity. Ladies and gentlemen, Raila Odinga has used Kenyan population, those who follow him for a long period of time, for his personal political gains. Whenever he feels that he has lost an election and then he needs to get into the government, then he will summon the masses, the poor Kenyans, to protest in the country, to give the incumbent president no peace, so that he will incorporate Raila and his allies into his government, and they continue eating. Ladies and gentlemen, it's very painful. And with that, it calls upon every Kenyans to register as a voter, so that together in the coming election, we can change the future of our country. Ladies and gentlemen, with that, I would like to invite you to subscribe to this YouTube channel, hit the subscription button, press the notification bell, and also smash that like button to help me reach a wider audience. And with that, ladies and gentlemen, I wish to beg you that I see you in our next video. This is Vox Politica.